Welcome back to the Real Joseph Lamtman. I am Joseph Lamtman, Sunday Live edition. Welcome back to the Real. Excited for this live tonight. Quick little live tonight for you guys. We're gonna do Mike's gonna join, give us a Michael Kick-Habit report on the Browns preseason game against the Eagles on Thursday night. We're gonna look ahead to what happened at camp today as well. Deshaun Watson. A lot of people are saying it was his best camp, best day of camp rather, best practice he's had so far. And we'll also look ahead to the game versus the Chiefs, I believe, this Saturday. But to start off the show, we're going to do a quick little segment, whatever you want to call it, on the Ohio State Buckeyes. We haven't really talked about a lot about Ohio State yet. But tomorrow, Ryan Day has a press conference, I believe, around noontime at 11:30 noon. And there's some rumors out there, like I know Zach Smith said it a week ago. Zach Smith, the former wide receiver coach, still had a lot of contact with like Ryan Day himself, a lot of guys on the staff said that he heard that Devin Brown's going to be the starter. Now, a lot of the Ohio State beat reporters keep saying it's going to be Kyle McCord, but I tend to agree with Zach Smith about Devin Brown. I also believe, just from the highlights I've seen and the stuff I've seen and heard that myself, that Devin Brown will be the starter, and I think it'll be announced tomorrow. So I expect Devin Brown to be announced as starting quarterback for the Buckeyes tomorrow. I think it sounds like they had their second scrimmage yesterday. I know the first scrimmage the last Saturday, Devin Brown was lights out and had a great scrimmage. Kyle McCord wasn't great. He threw, I believe it was 5 interceptable passes in that scrimmage. So I think Devin Brown's kind of pulled ahead for a while, and I think he'll be the guy. Some people on the coaching staff also believe he could be a Heisman winner within the next couple of years at Ohio State. So that's pretty high praise. So but I believe in Devin Brown. I believe when you listen to him on the podium, when he talks, he's just really confident kid. Wears number 33. He's different. He's really athletic. Did a backflip in full pads. So, yeah, I expect Devin Brown to be the starting quarterback tomorrow, to be announced tomorrow. I'll be looking forward to that. Their first game is the second at Indiana. So that should be interesting. So, but I'll get my man Mike's take on it. We'll get Mike up here. Mike.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Real Mike. Good
Thank
to
you for
see you.
having me.
How was your Sunday going?
My Sunday's going pretty good. I had a so-so day at work, but happy to be home. So I'm not feeling too bad.
All right, not feeling too bad.
Yeah. How about you? How's today going for you?
Pretty good. Just a little resting and stuff, and just hanging out. Watch my man Reed Timmer out chasing this tropical storm out in California. Um, Took a nice little bike ride tonight. Went to beautiful waterworks and the trail and everything. But yeah, just hanging out, man. Just living life day by day.
Good,
But
good.
you heard my little rant there about the beginning about Ohio State. I expect Devin Brown to be named the starting quarterback tomorrow. I know you've been more down on the Browns, but based on what you've seen and heard, and the guys coming back this year, Marvin Harrison and all that,
Right.
kind of what's your
Yeah.
take about the quarterback battle here, and what do you expect from Ohio State this year?
Well, this year I expect. What do I expect from Ohio State this year? That's a great question because, while the receiver room and the running game remains really, really good and the Big Ten's kind of a joke, I, I think we are poised for another like playoff race, but I just don't know enough about Devin Brown or Kyle McCord to kind of like put my faith. It kind of feels like a soft rebuild year. Our DBs aren't that good. That offensive line is going to get completely reshuffled because, you had, let's see, your starting right and left tackle and your starting center get drafted. So, your starting right tackle and center are actually on the Browns now. So there's that. But, um, I don't know. My expectations are still the playoffs just because, again, I don't see a lot out of the Big Ten.
Well,
And
I
with,
think our two. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, and with our receiver core and our defensive line is still very, very strong. I still like our linebacking core. I haven't loved our DBs since, I don't know. We used to be
Be better
DBU.
this year. They got a couple. I don't know if you know. I guess I'll give the report on Ohio State. They got a couple
Yeah.
transfers that came in. One from Syracuse. They had another transfer coming from Ole Miss. But they also the guy that's been the dude in the back end, Denzel Burks, kind of reemerged as that guy in the corner spot. But in the back end at safety, Sonny Styles is supposed to be like the next Jonathan Simmons. That's who they're comparing him to. I don't know or Isaiah Simmons. Isaiah Simmons, excuse me. Remember from Clemson, about 3 years ago. He was a stud in college. He's that kind of prototype, kind of safety, linebacker kind of guy, freak athlete. He's been lighting up camp. So expect to see him. His brother also transferred in, Lorenzo from Notre Dame. I believe he plays safety as well. So they're pretty good. They got a lot deeper in the back end. The offensive line, that's the biggest question mark. But it sounds like Josh Simmons is going to be the left tackle. And they're going to move Josh Fryer to right tackle. And then it'll be, I believe, Matthew Jones. And I can't remember the other kid's name. So we'll see. The offensive line is the biggest question mark, but I expect them to figure it out as the season goes on. But I think the biggest thing is the quarterback, and I think anybody doesn't know Devin Brown. I'm a huge Devin Brown fan. I've been pushing the Devin Brown train all off season because I just think the kid's got a big arm, really athletic, runs the offense, I think, similar to how Justin Fields ran it in a way, which I think fits this scheme the best. I think Justin Fields was the perfect quarterback for Ryan Day's offense. And I just think, too, like, I don't know if people saw, Mike, I don't know if you saw Devin Brown, the throw he made in the Peach Bowl practice when we were getting ready for Georgia. This is when he kind of went viral. He was a big-time recruit coming out. He was supposed to go to USC, and he switched to Ohio State. But I'll show you this clip real quick, Mike, of him hit the arm strength and the accuracy. Hold up here. This is a clip that went viral. They were at a Peach Bowl practice preparing for Georgia. He was on the scout team, and he threw this ball. 1 second. But, yeah, other than that, what do you expect from Marvin Harrison this year? How big of a leap do you think he'll take?
I mean, I don't know how much more of a leap he can take. He's probably, if he keeps it up, he might very well become one of the, if not the best receiver college football has ever seen. Yeah, I mean, it's just he's one of those guys that, like, I wouldn't be surprised. Like, it's been a while since we've had a receiver go like top 5 or even top 3. He's a player that, like, after the first 2 quarterbacks are off the board next year, which are going to be Caleb Williams and Drake May. If, as long as, like, no, like, crazy injury happens to him, knock on wood, because I think both of those quarterbacks are magnificent players. I could definitely see whoever's that third team up to take a Marvin Harrison. I mean, imagine this, right? I don't foresee the Texans being crazy good.
Just took the words out of my mouth. Damn it. I was thinking the Texans too.
I don't see the Texans being crazy good. And, their wide receiver core, I mean, they got CJ, Robert Woods, good vet to kind of, get acclimated. They got him Tank Dell. I think
Tank Dell. They got John Mechie.
Right, and John Mechie's coming back. And by the way, quick side note: so glad that he beat his battle with cancer and is coming back. Yeah. That's such a great story. That must have been
He's an underrated player too.
Oh, he was a great player. The Browns were going to pick him until the Texans offered us 3 third-round picks for our second-round pick that year. So like. And that got us Martin Emerson, so I mean, I'm cool with that. But
here, I'm gonna show the bomb real quick. Let me show the bomb. I don't know if can you see it, Mike?
A little grainy.
Yeah, it is a little grainy, but just you could probably see the throw though. Play action, bomb, on the money, boom.
Wow.
Let's take a look at that one more time. This is the arm strength. So that's 60 yards on the money. Damn. So that's what we get to look forward to with Devin Brown. Yeah, I'm excited. I think this kid's legit. I think he's super competitive too. He's a really competitive kid. Just a high spirit. And where's number 33? I don't know, have you ever seen number 33 quarterback, Mike?
No, considering that's a classical safety number. No.
Yeah.
I don't like it. If he actually gets named starting quarterback and I have to watch him wearing number 33, I think it's going to mess with my OCD so much I might have to shut off the game.
Well, it's like Mike's not watching football this year, folks. So,
well, no, I'm watching.
I'm watching Ohio State football rather, but because he's wearing number 33. I don't care. Listen, I don't care if you wear 33, 83, 73. Just get it done. That's all I care.
Yeah, just get it done. Like I'm not.
Get it done. You know what I mean? Just get it done.
Right. And yeah, no, I'm excited. I know. Isn't week 0 like in a week?
I think it's next weekend.
Yeah.
It's crazy how fast this stuff came back. It's like I feel like we just got done with the Peach Bowl watching that shank at midnight.
Oh God, no! I was at a party and it just ruined the rest of my night.
Yeah, I remember I called you that night. And I was pissed too. I was
in the kitchen at this New Year's Eve party, and I just stopped. Everybody was talking, and everybody just went silent because they just heard me yell, "No!" Oh my God!
Yeah, I guess they got a receiver who's a freshman. They said he's the best freshman. Coaches are saying in Ryan Day's era since he's been there, the best freshman receiver they've.
Is it Brandon Ennis?
Carnell Tate.
Carnell Tate, the other guy. Because I know we got a couple.
6'2", 191, Carnell Tate. They said he's the best freshman receiver. Now, another guy, I mentioned his name on the show. He's a tight end. They said he's kind of the Brock Bowers type physically, 6'6", 253. He's a true freshman, freak athlete. I don't know how much he's going to play this year. Jelani Thurman. Remember that name. Jelani Thurman, the tight end.
Thurman.
Freak athlete. And so I'm curious to see, too, with the running game. Obviously, Travion Henderson, but I think they got some really good depth there in the running game. You still got Mayan Williams. You got Chip Trainum. Shout out, Hoban alum.
They still have both their starting guards, right?
Dallin Hayden. Yeah, I believe so. I know they
because if that's the case, I mean, Luke Whippler was super important to their run game. I remember Ohio State was actually really upset that he declared.
Yeah.
Because they wanted him to stay another year. They're like, "Oh, kid, you could be like a high second round pick," because centers really don't go that high anymore.
No, you got to be really like elite.
Yeah, you got to be like, "Hey, this is a future Hall of Famer."
It takes time to develop a center because I don't think people realize. I played center my whole life. It takes time to develop a center. Like you can't draft
the O-line. You got to call out.
Look how long it took. Ethan Pochich to get how many years?
It takes time
because as a center, you got to know everything. You're basically the quarterback of yeah, I mean, you're the quarterback of the line of pretty much every. You got to call out the front. You got to call out the coverage you see. You got to be like a quarterback basically at center. You can't just put a young guy back under center and at center and expect him to just thrive in the NFL or at any level. It takes time to develop, but. I think they'll be fine though. They got depth there. I think that the wide receiver room's loaded. I think the running back room's loaded. Tight end room's loaded. I just think the biggest thing with them, I think defensive line looks really good. I think they're putting Jack Sawyer back at his normal his normal position, which is just rushing the passer, getting his hand in the dirt. You got JTT, JT Tuimoloau. I think he's gonna have a huge year. Possibly a top 10 pick. Yeah. Possibly a top 10 pick. You got Mike Hall there. He went from Streetsboro High School. You got Tyleik Williams. So you got a pretty good, solid 4 up front.
Yeah. And here, as long as the defensive line is good, I'm not terribly worried about. Like the biggest thing Michigan has.
You still got Tommy Eichenberg at linebacker too.
Right. And, I think, and my player to watch, at least for OSU, and maybe you can give one too, is, and I'm going to butcher his name, so apologies ahead of time, is Emeka Egbuka. He's wide receiver 2, but yes, thank you. I think he might be like it was like the Chris Olave, Garrett Wilson situation. I really think Marvin Harrison's going to shine because he's obviously the best receiver in college football. But this kid,
That
I
might,
watch him, and he's like a T.
yeah,
Higgins kind of prototype. Like kind of just really big, strong, can make high point catches really easy, great route runner.
really shifty like Smith the Jigba too.
Right.
No, I agree. A
that's
lot of people think that's going to be the best two receiver combo in the country this year. Is those two?
Yeah, we're wide receiver U now. We forgot
Yeah.
how to train DBs. At least we know how to do pass catch.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. But I don't think our first real test is until week 4 at Notre Dame. That's gonna be a tough game because Notre Dame's got a really good quarterback, Sam Hartman, who also might be a first rounder as well. But I think, yeah, he's pretty good. I like Sam Hartman's really good. I think Drake May and Caleb Williams is 1 and 2. I like Drake May a lot.
I know, and I know you don't like Caleb Williams. I know you don't.
No, I like the talent. I like the talent. It's just I don't. Some of the other stuff, I'm a little.
No, I know.
It's kind of
that can work. That can get worked out. That can get worked out. But maybe. Like I watch him play football.
We'll see. Well, yeah, he's a great talent, but we'll see. But Drake May's a hell of a player too. That dude.
Absolutely.
He's
a North Carolina Tar Heel, right?
Yeah, and he is a hell of a player. But Notre Dame though, it's got Sam Hartman. I'm sure they got some other good players too. So that'll be our first Devin Brown's first road test. I'm curious to see how that goes. I think looking at Michigan's obviously gonna be good this year. Michigan probably has their best roster they've had, and Michigan has to go all. They really have to go all in this year because there's a lot of question marks after this year. A lot of people. I don't know if Jim Harbaugh is gonna be around, and their recruiting kind of falls off too. After this year, so a lot of people think 2024 Michigan isn't looking great, so they got to really go all in this year. This might be it for them. So you got them, but I think possibly our toughest.
I mean, there were rumors last year or this season, upcoming season, that Harbaugh was going to take an NFL job. Hey, so I think Harbaugh. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Harbaugh probably.
I think he bounces, especially with this investigation stuff being.
He'll
go on now. I think he's leaving. I think the program they'll be fine. They're obviously a powerhouse program. They're one of the blue chips.
Yeah. And he'll find a job. I mean, like as much as I detest Michigan, like he's a great coach. That's the only reason. Yeah, he's the only reason.
A little bit. He turned him around though, and he brought it back to what it should be. The sport's better when Michigan and Ohio State are both good. And the last 2 years, Michigan's just had the better team in that game. So. Especially the first year, they were the better team the first year. I think last year we kind of we beat ourselves a lot with this stupid defensive scheming. But
no DBs.
No, I think they'll be tough. But I think our toughest game might be Penn State.
Penn State looks good.
Penn State has the best quarterback, and I've seen him play in high school. Drew Aller who went to Medina High School. Drew Aller he was an Elite 11 quarterback in high school. I saw him play at Medina, really damn good player, big arm, big athlete. He's the best quarterback they've probably had in a long time. So
and they always have a really good defense.
Yeah, they're going to have a really good defense. Their offense, they got some really good speed, 2 really good running backs. I'm sure they got some receivers. They always got a good tight end. But Drew Aller is the best quarterback they've had, I think, probably in a long, long time. I'm not a Penn State historian, but I'll bet my money Drew Aller is going to be one of the best by the time it's all done. I think he'll be a first-round pick. He's that good. I think Penn State's going to be a tough game. I think did we play them here last? No, that's at Penn State. So,
yeah.
That's going to be a hell of a no, actually, no, it's at home. The game's at home this year. All right, the game's at home, which it's still going to be a tough game, though. They're starting off at 7 in the AP poll. And then the week after that, another tough opponent in Wisconsin, who one of my best friends is assistant coach of it. Shout out Devo. I think if we win our division, I think that's the team we'll probably see in Indy is Wisconsin. I think Wisconsin go 11-1.
I like Wisconsin. They have a great defensive program in Wisconsin, and unfortunately,
and Luke Fickell had the best hires of the offseason. Bringing in, I think it was Coach Phil Long. I can't remember his name. Phil Longo is the OC. He's a really good offensive coordinator. They got a.
How you think?
They brought in a transfer quarterback. They're really good.
I have 2 college football questions before we move to the Browns.
Go ahead.
How do you think Coach Prime's going to do with Colorado this year?
Well, I think the number one thing with him is his health. Obviously, number one, he's got to be healthy. He's got some serious stuff going on that, unfortunately could.
Was it a blood clot?
Yeah, I don't know if they're talking about certain, future surgeries, or he might lose a leg, because that's once you start having stuff. It's unfortunate because it's really sad. I hope he's gonna be okay, but he's been back coaching. But I think, I think he had surgery recently and he's been back coaching, so that's good to see. Good. But when I look at their schedule, and I've been listening I mentioned his name, Matt McChesney, who I listened to on JB's show. Matt's a former Colorado alum, and he was at their practice last week, and he said that they're super fast. Shador's a really good quarterback. Travis Hunter's one of the best receivers in the country. I think the thing, when you look at their schedule and they play in the Pac-12, I think they can rip off. I think Vegas has them at 3 wins. I think that's really low. I think with the talent they brought in, and I think with Prime coaching, I think too the team just gonna have a swagger and a confidence just because of who their coach is. I think
look what Jackson State did with them.
Yeah, I think I think they can rip off 7 games. I think they can win 7 games.
All right.
Which is huge for their program because they haven't won a bowl game in I think forever, Colorado.
Oh God!
If they get to a bowl game and win this year, it'd be historic. But the biggest thing, I hope Prime stays healthy because I think that program has a lot of momentum. They're going to be really good with transfers. They're going to be really good with recruiting. They're going back to the Big 12 where they belong. I think Prime's going to do a hell of a job. He has a hell of a staff over there too. But I just think it's his health, and I think they still got to fill out the roster too. You know what I mean? It takes time to switch a program around, but it's already been switched around from what I've heard. And you just see it. You just see it. And I just think too, I think there's a couple games. I've looked at their schedule and listened to McChesney and some other guy. I think they can rip off 7 games this year and make a bowl game and finally win a bowl game for them. Because I think Shador's a really good quarterback. I think he's underrated. And I think Travis Hunter's going to be one of the best just athletes in the country. So,
right.
And they got Savion Washington. I don't know. Do you know who Savion?
I do not.
Savion's from Falls. Went to Falls.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, he was because they hired Kent State's old head coach is the offensive coordinator out there now. He's a really good coach. Yeah, he was and Kent State had one of the top 10 offenses ranked last year in college football. And so he was the head coach over there. He's hired as the OC now over at Colorado. And I heard too that the reason why they brought him in is because in case Prime has to step away, this guy has head coaching experience, and he's actually a really good head coach. So he would be the guy that would take over at Colorado probably if something ever happened. But yeah, Savion I remember Savion. He went to went to Falls, and he's offensive lineman. Went to Kent State because of the Kent State connections. He followed him out there, and he'll be starting at I think tackle. So yeah,
okay.
Little twist people maybe didn't know about, but yeah.
And then, are you ready for the next one?
Oh, go right ahead.
Does Arch Manning win the starting job?
No, I don't think Arch Manning did not look good in the. Quinn Ewers is better. Arch Manning, I don't think Arch Manning's gonna be at Texas. I think he's going to Ole Miss. I think he's going to Ole Miss, which is where you think he's going to transfer? Yeah, I think he's transferring to Ole Miss, and he didn't look that great in the spring game. I mean, I know it's a spring game, but his film he did not look prepared at all. There's a lot of question marks about him. I think because of the name, I think there's a lot of weight with the name, obviously.
Right.
But I think eventually, what I've heard, I think he's going to end up at Ole Miss. And I think, because if I'm not mistaken, I believe the Mannings just put a bunch of money in the facility out there too. So I think.
Oh, okay.
Because Eli went to Ole Miss, so obviously Peyton went to Tennessee. But I think Arch is going to end up transferring to Ole Miss.
All
I don't think he's going to win. Quinn Ewers is better, anyways. And Texas could be pretty good this year. They play Alabama again. They could beat Alabama because Alabama has question marks at quarterback.
So they really do. I don't know who their quarterback is.
It sounds like it's going to be what's his name? I can't remember. He played a little bit last year, but he's basically more of a running quarterback. Doesn't throw the deep ball well. He was like 0 for 5 on deep balls last year, which is not great. Let me pull up his name. It's they just I read the other day it's leaning towards Jalen Milroe.
Okay.
6'2", 220. He's more of a running quarterback, but he's not a. So it's kind of like I don't want to say Jalen Hurts because Jalen Hurts threw some deep balls pretty well. This guy doesn't throw the deep ball well yet. It's gonna take time for him to develop that, but they don't really have like a definitive like Devin Brown was a high recruit and a big time arm. They don't really have that kind of elite 11 quarterback over there right now. So I think
the more Nick Saban loses, the more college football heals. So
yeah, and he's got LSU right on his heels. Georgia's taking over as the team, so I don't know. I think Texas could beat them. They should have. I think if Quinn Ewers didn't get hurt last year, they would have won that game.
Right.
Personally, but I don't know. It's gonna be tough. I mean, we'll see. You got any more college football questions, Mike?
No, that's it.
All right. Well, I predict we play Wisconsin in the Big Ten championship game, and I think we win that game in a good battle. Just because I think we got a lot of just great players on our team, like Marvin Harrison, and I think we'll get back in the playoffs this year, Mike. We'll see what happens. It'll be a fair game. Maybe a rematch versus Corey's Bulldogs.
That'd be great.
That'd be a great game. That was a hell of a game. Yeah, I'd love to see that again. Yeah, I think their quarterback's gonna be and he's pretty good actually. What's his name? Carson Beck. Yeah, 6'4", 215. Pretty good arm too. So yeah, we'll see what happens. But I guess that was my report on Ohio State on just college football in general. I'm more of the college football guy over here. I keep up on recruiting and all that, but I'm gonna flip it over to you now, Mike. Michael K. Cabot, and get into the Browns real quick before we get out of here. What's your latest report? I read today that Deshaun Watson, a lot of people thought he had his best practice today at camp.
Yes, he did.
I know we had the game Thursday night as well. I'll let you take it from here. You just go ahead, Michael K. Cabot.
All right. Well, like Joseph was saying, great practice today out of Deshaun Watson. His connection with Amari Cooper and David Njoku is evident. And with Deshaun Watson and how he loves his tight ends, it appears that David Njoku is poised for a breakout season. I'm really excited to see that. Defense continues to impress. Great practice today out of the Browns. Greg Newsome has had some interesting comments today about the Jim Schwartz defense and how it's changed opposed to the Joe Woods defense. One of the best things saying you haven't seen everything. It is a little bit more simple, but that wide nine downhill driving defense, more man, but we have the corners to support it. Mm-hmm. I think our defense is going to be huge strength this year. Where last year it was our weakness. And yes, Deshaun looked insane today. And it is funny to say, just for all you Jed Wills haters, Jed Wills had 2 really good reps against Myles Garrett. And that's hard to do for any tackle in the NFL unless your name is Trent Williams. So that is my practice recap of the day. However, I want to talk about a couple players from the preseason game, because there are a couple players that stood out to me and that continue to stand out to me that I think need a little bit more attention. For one,
one of the guys, the linebacker you're going to name, we told people a while ago, but go ahead.
We did. I'll say that, but I'm not gonna start with him. I'm gonna start with Dawand Jones.
Go ahead.
AKA DeWall Jones, AKA Dog Pound Jones. This guy is going to be the right tackle of the future. This guy appears to be the steal of the draft. Who knows why he fell into the 4th round? He was one-on-one against Nolan Smith, who is a defensive end from Georgia that runs a 4.3, an absolute athletic freak. Their first-round pick this past draft. And guess what? He only allowed 1 pressure. This big motherfucker is so giant that not even Nolan Smith can run around him. Dawand Jones is so good, it hurts. Dawand Jones is him alone. Andrew Berry is going to be our GM for the next 10 years. That pick, fantastic. Great job, Andrew Berry.
I'm gonna call him Hall of Fame Jones. Yeah, that's right.
He could be. He could be if he keeps up. And
he is unreal to watch. Like just as a rookie, and his physical his physical traits, but his athleticism. You know, he's got some stuff he's got to clean up still. But look at right there. Look at his pass pro right there. How he kicks back real. I mean, the dude is an absolute machine.
He's
like right
he's
there.
fantastic.
Look out right there. Just stiff arm. Just his extension's great. His balance is great. His stance is he's really consistent. He does a lot of things that I wish other people on our team would do, but that's another story. But consistently,
he's fantastic.
But right there, I mean, it's just so not many guys can match up with him physically.
No. He's going to be our right tackle of the future. He's going to be here for a very long time. So Browns fans, get excited. This is a franchise tackle. And I can already say that just by watching the tape.
Yeah. Secondly, it don't take a Swami to figure out that DeJuan Jones is going to be the franchise tackle. But continue.
Correct.
Nice catch. Second moment on the screen too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I am. And speaking of nice catches, I'm going to talk about Cedric Tillman.
Oh yeah.
Cedric Tillman continues to impress. Cedric Tillman continues to prove that he was probably one of the better X receivers in the draft. Now, I say X receivers because really there weren't a whole hell of a lot of them in this year's draft. And Cedric Tillman, if he didn't get hurt, probably would have been a higher second-round pick. And he continues to just make plays left and
first.
Could have been. He had a fantastic, if you didn't see it in the preseason, fantastic 25-yard bomb to 25-yard catch, high point catch from DTR.
It was just showed a couple minutes ago.
Oh, did you showed it? Okay, fantastic. I didn't.
You want me to rewind it for you? Yeah, rewind.
Rewind it. I want to break it down.
I think your Beats by Muhammad cut out. Hold on, I think Mike's headphones cut out. You there, Mike? We'll see what happens. I think we lost.
Can you hear me now?
Now we can hear. I think your Beats by Muhammad.
Yeah, you lost me for a second. I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah. What headphones you got on?
I
already said it. Go ahead.
Oh, you already said it. Fantastic. Well, then you already know. But let's play this catch.
Well, let me find
it's a fantastic catch here.
That's what you named the headphones. So I'm just repeating.
That's what I did. But now we're in public.
Hold on, let me pull it up. It don't matter. All right, here we go. Right here. Wait, is that
all right?
No, that's not it. Just pay attention. It's coming up right here.
All right, fantastic.
But you'll see it. But yeah, great catch. And just, I mean, look, maybe it's right here. Yeah, this is it.
Here it is. Oh, fantastic. Watson wants to talk about it too. Look at that. High points the ball. Oh, great throw too by DTR where only Sed could get it. But high points the ball, corner right on him, safety closing in, and he still high points it. Spins down. Again, a receiver that is big and plays big, which is going to be great. I want to see. If Sed gets any sort of first team reps in this upcoming preseason, I want to see him attack the back pylon with Deshaun at quarterback. That's what I want to see because we're going to see 25 straight snaps of Deshaun Watson in the offense, and I just need to see that. Absolute fucking monster of a player. I'm really excited to see how he develops. And thirdly, here's a player I wanted to talk about, and me and Joseph already told y'all about him. Mahamoud Diabate, undrafted free agent out of Utah. 5 tackles, 1 forced fumble, and a safety. Absolute monster of a player. Is this the play? Oh, no, that's DTR.
Yes. No, and I agree. I liked him in college. He's number one, I like Utah, period. I like their defensive coach, and they have a great program. But they have really good defensive players, but I watched him against Caleb Williams in that game in the Pac-12 championship, and he really stood out to me. So I'm not. Yeah, he's really, really athletic, really can attack the ball, really aggressive, really
Really good ball awareness.
Really good athlete.
Great technique. Yeah, fantastic athlete. He is making a very strong push to make this roster. And I wouldn't be surprised with the injury to Jacob Phillips if he doesn't make the roster. It just comes down to him. Apparently, there's a little bit of a camp battle between him and Matthew Adams. I do maybe see Mahmoud beating him. Mahmoud beating him out. No, that's legit how his name is, Mahmoud.
I can't think of you named your headphones that time.
Oh yeah, I know. But I think Mahmoud has the edge in my opinion, just because again with the UDFA you get more contractual control. And yeah, I think he's a fantastic player. Also, speaking of undrafted free agents,
I was wrong. Let me clarify. Hold on. Let me clarify. I'm not laughing at D.B. Taylor. That's a great player. It's an inside joke Mike and I have people know about. But
yes.
Yeah, we'll just leave it there. But go ahead, Mike.
I was wrong about Ronnie Hickman. Yeah, and it looks like but you were wrong about Anthony Bell. It looks like they might plan to keep 5 safeties because Anthony Bell is an excellent special teams player. And I just don't think they're gonna let that walk. And that's what kind of all signs are pointing to, that we might go into the season with 5 safeties. And the person who might be on the bubble, and also because he's hurt, is surprisingly AJ Green. With the additions of Mike Ford and Cam Mitchell, AJ Green's spot just seems, a little bit in jeopardy. You have, your starting 3, Martin, Greg, Denzel, and Cam's a pretty good 4th option. Then you have Mike Ford out there too. So I wouldn't be surprised if they go in with 5 safeties, have Ronnie Hickman on the roster, and then, AJ Green might be a unfortunate cut. And he's had some great plays for the Browns. He's a great story. I'd hate to see it, but that's the NFL. But yeah, that's basically what I've seen from the preseason. It's just our stars, our rookies continue to shine. They've had Luke Whippler play some guard snaps where he's played pretty all right. So I think that's interesting. They want him to be this kind of not just another center, but kind of a swing guard, which I like.
Yeah.
And I just, our rookies continue to shine. Our defensive scheme continues to look amazing. And Joe Woods is a war criminal.
Yeah. It's really, you can't really evaluate anybody from last year, I don't think, as much, because it was just that bad. Yeah, I don't know if he's going to make the roster, but Tommy Togiai even looks better in this scheme, and he does, but he was not. Yeah, but that just lets you know though just how bad of a scheme it was last year.
Right.
It was that bad, but I agree. Nice report there from Michael K. Cabot. Appreciate it, buddy. Great job as always. But what stood out to me is Cade York. What do we do with Cade York, Mike? I don't know where we go from here. This kicking has been an issue. We can't find a consistent kicker. I'm really worried about the thing. Even Deshaun Watson's face after he missed that game winner, what should have been the game winner, was just like, bruh.
Yeah, I did see that. But calm down, Browns fans. It is preseason, and here's the thing about kicker. Here's the thing about kicker. I know his job doesn't change in the regular season. I get it. I know what you're going to say, and I get it, because I've had the same thoughts too. My thought process on it is we're going to ride it out. Bubba Ventrone's going to try and fix it, and if we can't, there are kickers out there on the waiver wire that we can sign in a day. I don't think it's that big of a deal. It does suck if it doesn't work out, but I really think the Browns are going to ride it out. He continues to look good in practice, and even though he missed the game winner, before that he went 3 for 3, so I think they're going to ride it out. I think they're really going to give him the Kansas City game to kind of figure out if like, hey, let's see how you look, kid. But yeah, no, it's a concern. But if the one thing we have to worry about is who's going to be our like sixth wide receiver, our sixth linebacker, and who's going to be our kicker, those are rich people problems in the NFL. If we're just worrying about kicker, those are rich people problems.
Kicker, it's points. I want my points. I'm not losing a game again by 1 point like we did the Chargers last year or the Jets. I'm not doing it. Get my kicker. We need a kick. We need to find a consistent kicker. I mean, we drafted this guy in the 4th round. We shouldn't be having these kind of problems. I mean, and I don't get it. I just don't get it. It's not like I've seen so many other guys that are just way more consistent to hit the kicks. This dude, it's always wide right too. Like what the hell? It's always wide right.
It's just a mental thing, and he'll shake it off. I'm not terribly worried.
I hope.
If he misses every field goal and an extra point in the Kansas City game, I'll be worried. But here's the thing: if you're a kicker and you can hit your extra points and you can hit the gimme field goals from like 30 yards out, then I'm not terribly worried. Like there's not a lot of kickers that can hit 45ers and above consistently, so I'm not terribly worried if that's the case. But
it used to not be this bad. I remember growing up as a kid, like we were like kids, kicking was never as bad as it is now.
Right.
Guys used to make their kicks all the time, like chip shots. Now I don't know what's going on nowadays. It's just not done, and it's just, and I don't know. It's very. At least the punter looked good. He had a nice 60-yard bomb, but
Corey Bajorquez,
yeah, he looks like right here. He's punting right here on the screen. At least we got a punter. But other than that, we need to get this kicker thing figured out. But I think we're really solid at is wide receiver. I think we're a lot deeper there than people thought. Maybe I think Austin Watkins, his emergence is a big deal to me. I think David Bell's like getting a little more involved, get more comfortable in the offense. You get Marquise back. I like the receiver room now. I think I feel a lot better about that. The Austin Watkins emergence to me has been really impressive to watch.
Yeah, Austin Watkins has been extremely impressive. I think he's making a very strong push to make the roster. It's just getting to the point of like our receiver room is pretty crowded. The Marquise Goodwin situation is a little weird. I really don't know how that shakes out, honestly. Austin Watkins is a great story. I really don't think he, can be put on or stashed on the practice squad just because I really think someone will pick him up. So it comes down to how many receivers are they going to keep? When is Marquise Goodwin going to be healthy? And that's about it. Because like if we keep 7, then yeah, Austin Watkins all day. But if we keep 6, it might just be it might just be an unfortunate cut because
he's too good. You can't let that guy go out. It's like Joe Thomas said. He's too good to let out the door. You can't let him go out the door. It ain't. There's no way.
And who knows? It'd be a great story if he stays. He got some reps with the 2s today, which is the first time he's had reps outside of the 3s. So we'll see. I'd like to see him on there, but again, he's kind of that prototypical like kind of David Bell player, like shifty, good route runner, good hands, but like he's a solid guy. It just really depends because Jakeem Grant, I don't think people understand. Jakeem Grant is healthy and he is a solid lock for the roster. He is going to be.
I don't know. There's some rumors that people think he may not make the roster, and I'm starting to tilt that way. Jerome Ford did a nice job at kick return last year.
I can definitively say that Jakeem Grant is our starting kick and punt returner. Definitively. And if not, I will pay you $1,000. It is definitive from my sources, if you will, that Jakeem Grant is the lock for the roster. He is our starting kick and punt returner. They do not want Jerome Ford doing that. They want him to be RB2 and solely that. So when Nick Chubb's tired, and they don't want DPJ doing that either.
Yeah. Well, that was our report for preseason. Looking ahead to was it Saturday? Was it Saturday, Mike? They play the Chiefs?
Saturday at 1:00, baby.
So what do you expect from Saturday?
I want to see first and foremost, I want to see nobody get hurt. I think that's a good preseason game. I think we can all agree on that, Browns fans. So first and foremost, no injuries.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see. But what do I want to see out of the offense? I want to see a good, clean, good, clean production. I don't want to see anything like too crazy because obviously you want to keep the playbook simple. You don't want to show your cards until the season starts. I want to see, I want to see more targets for the tight ends because really, Deshaun only played one series. Stefanski said he's going to play a quarter this time around, so that's great. So I want to see that David Njoku connection and maybe some more Jordan Akins action in the first quarter. I want to see more catches out of the wide receivers. Deshaun is not going to scramble a whole lot in the preseason. Nobody does. If anything, he might run to pick up a first down, but he's not going to scramble to throw. That just doesn't happen in the preseason. You won't see a lot of that. Hopefully Jerome Ford's healthy because I want to see him get some carries. That's another thing I'd really, really love to see. We're probably not going to see Nick Chubb till week 1, and that's fine. I'm fine with that. I think we're all fine with that. But I really want to see Jerome Ford get some carries in this offense. I want to see how he looks because we really haven't.
We got to get that figured out too. I think they're going to use both running backs in different ways throughout the year. Obviously, Nick Chubb's the warhorse, but that'd be interesting to see what happens. I want to see how Deshaun looks too. Again, just a week, coming off with his practice this like today, and him and Mahomes will be out there together. So I would kind of take it as like a slight competition in a way. Looking forward to seeing how that looks as well. And I also I want to see how the main thing I want to see is how the defense looks against the Chiefs offense.
I would love to see that, and I expect to see. I want to see sacks. I want to see a Patrick Mahomes get sacked at least 2 times, and then Andy Reid be like, you know what, get the kid out of there. I don't want to see him get hit no more. That's what I want to see because, apparently during joint practice, Jason Kelsey was quoted as saying that they had to push they had to like get off the ball real quick and get off their formation and push the defensive line of the Browns because they just were so overwhelming. And that is a beautiful thing to hear because no matter what you rank it, Browns or Eagles, then Browns, offensive line-wise, the Browns and the Eagles have the 2 best offensive lines in football. And that is, I think that's indisputable. So the fact that their offensive line was having such big problems with our defensive line is great to see. And I think we can both agree that the Chiefs' offensive line is not that strong. So
no, they lost Orlando Brown too, so.
Yeah, they lost to Orlando Brown, signed Juwan Taylor, who I think is a pretty solid left tackle. Not as good as Orlando Brown, but he's solid. And outside of Creed Humphrey, I really don't like their guards. I don't even know who the hell their right tackle is, if I'm being honest. But
I don't either. But I don't even know if they have a receiver this year, to be honest with you. But
they got Pat Mahomes. That's the biggest thing, right?
Yeah, Travis Kelce, and Andy Reid. But we'll see. But I think I'm curious to see how the defensive line looks, just how the defense looks in general. Especially guys like JOK. I want to see more of him. He looked really impressive in that game against the Commanders. So
I think it'd be interesting if we see Talk or AWOC out there. I don't know if they'll play. I don't know if they'll play it real careful with them still since they're still kind of rehabbing back. Yeah. But I'd like to see maybe at least Talk out there. If you don't want to have AWOC out there, I get it. But I'd like to see another starting Cattleberger linebacker next to JOK out there. But if not, I'd love to see JOK.
Yeah. No,
interesting
to see. But you got anything else, Mike? You got something you want to go off your chest this week? Anybody in the media piss you off again?
Oh, let me think. Did anyone in the media piss me off this week?
I know Colin Coward.
Not yet. Not yet.
Well, Colin Coward said we're going to be an implosion this year. Did you see that?
Oh, yeah, I saw that. And Colin Cowherd can eat a bag of dicks because Colin Cowherd also he's just an idiot. I don't even want to give him any light of day. He thinks the Steelers are going to be the Steelers. He thinks the Steelers are going to win our division. You pick the worst fucking team in our division to win. Here's the thing. I respect Mike Tomlin. the Steelers defense is always going to be good. I get that. But Kenny Pickett, you were making fun of Baker Mayfield. That's Baker Mayfield, but added 3 inches to height. The man's got hands the size of fucking chicken nuggets, and they think that he thinks that they're going to win the fucking division. George Pickens can't fucking catch the ball without OPI. Deontay Johnson hasn't caught a touchdown since the stock market was good. And y'all think that the Steelers are going to win this division? Their best offensive weapon is Pat Fryermuth, and he looks like he should be working at a fucking Busey's, not playing tight end. I'm just sick of it. Najee Harris is Trent Richardson 2.0. He's just a really tall guy that can run 3 yards every fucking play. And you think, Colin Cowherd, that the fucking Steelers are going to win the division? I just don't see it. I don't know who's paying him. I want him to stop. And this is a problem when they legalize marijuana in California, because you get all these old bastards who haven't smoked weed since like the 60s. I don't know how old Colin Cowherd is. And he smokes it, and then he comes up with these shit fucking football takes, and then I have to listen to it and react to it in front of like 20 people on Facebook, and I'm sick of it. I am sick of it. Colin Cowherd, shut the fuck up. Hey, FS1, pay me $50,000. I'll take a fraction of what Colin Cowherd takes, and I will make up the worst fucking sports takes ever. And you will get all the fucking clicks. And you will not have to have Colin Cowherd bossing people around anymore. Just hire me. All right. I'm done. Shit. God, I hate
it. Yeah. For a lot of Cleveland fans right there. On behalf of Cleveland fans, we say thank you. But anyways, yeah, I don't know. The Steelers, if you want to put your money on Kenny Pickett, but Deshaun Watson's a question mark, then have at it. But
it's just amazing to me. Like, even if you don't like Deshaun Watson as a person and you just want to talk shit on the Browns because of that, I understand. But there are 2 other better teams in the division than the Steelers. He doesn't pick the Bengals. He doesn't pick the Ravens. He picks the Steelers. I'm not going to go back into it. You finish.
No, I agree.
Go.
No, I think the Bengals are better. I don't know if the Ravens are definitively better. To me, I'm not that high. I'm not as high on the Bengals or as on the Ravens as a lot of people, but I agree with you. To win the division, hell to the no. I don't see that at all. Najee Harris is a B. He's like tier 2 running back, really good player. I like George Pickens. He's had a hell of a camp. He's probably going to be their best weapon on offense on the outside. But, again, I don't. Kenny Pickett's solid to me, but he's not like. There's 3 other quarterbacks in the division that are way better to him. Way better than him to me. So that's just my opinion. You got to be able to have the quarterback to compete in this division. And I just think, too, the other rosters, especially the Bengals and the Browns, I think have a lot more star talent across the board.
I agree.
So, but yeah, I agree. We'll get you fired up again. But yeah, Mike's definitely not watching the Herd tomorrow. I can guarantee you that.
Yeah.
No. Well, Mike, good show as always. You got anything else you want to go for chest, buddy? Anything else going on in Mike's world?
Nope. Go Browns.
You got a book you read? What's the book of the? We haven't done book of the week in a long time. What's a book you reading?
You know what? I don't have a book of the week this week. I've been playing video games. New Madden just dropped, so I've been playing.
All right. Well, Mike's been playing the new Madden. Well, Mike, you got anything for people on the way out of here?
Hey, stay classy, San Diego.
That's it?
That's it. That's all we get.
That's all we get. All right. All right, Mike. I appreciate it, brother. We'll see you in the next one.
See you in the next one. Thank you for having me as always.
Appreciate it. Oh. All right, you guys. Thanks for tuning in. I want to thank Mike for coming on again this Sunday Live. We'll give a little breakdown of Ohio State. Like I said, I expect Devin Brown to be announced as starting quarterback tomorrow around noon from Ryan Day. Yes, looking forward to that. Give a little Browns preseason update. Look ahead to Saturday against the Chiefs. We'll see what happens. And yeah, make sure you guys hit the like button for me. That really helps out with my content and pumping in the algorithms. And so please hit the like button for me. If you're new here or if you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button for me. Leave a comment below as well. That's something maybe stood out to you. Maybe you got a take on Ohio State or the Browns or anything, college football in general, NFL in general. We'd love to hear it from you. And yeah, hit the like, subscribe, share button, all that good stuff. And I'll see you guys in the next one. I'm out of here. Gone. I'm saluting. You can't see me, but I'm saluting. Gone.